NFL Network's Rich Eisen goes off on Mike Tomlin and basically saying the truth about his situation and how he needs to get someone in the building that could challenge him as a head coach. So, Rich Eisen, he was talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers open offensive coordinator position, and we all know how the Pittsburgh Steelers love doing business in years past, promoting from within and getting guys who really aren't a challenge to Mike Tomlin, so Mike Tomlin can still run stuff from a Steelers perspective and from a team perspective. But now times are different. The league is changing. The offense needs to get better, and you can't do that anymore. You can't promote from within. You need to go out and get those young offensive gurus and those people from the Kyle Shanahan, McVay type of offense and from that coaching tree. And that's what the Steelers need to do. Get someone in the building that could challenge Mike Tomlin as a head coach and someone that Mike Tomlin could give full keys to and have them run the show on that side of the ball. And Mike Tomlin focuses on what he does best in terms of the defensive side of the ball. So, Rich Eisen, those were his general thoughts about how Mike Tomlin could adjust going forward. Here's a direct quote from his podcast. Jim Harbaugh turned Michigan around just because he started doing the opposite. He got some guys on the staff who did the opposite of what he was thinking about or what he thought was right, honestly. What I'm saying is, I don't know a hot shot with a billion new ideas that you would never think the Pittsburgh Steelers would ever run in a million years. Get that person, try it out. So, end quote. What he's basically saying is when he went to Michigan, he left the 49ers and got fired from his team, but he went to Michigan and he turned himself around. He turned his perspective around as a coach, and he got some people in the building around him. He surrounded him. You knew what he does best as a coach, and you got the opposite people to surround him as an offense. Meaning that whatever he was thinking, he gets some other people in with opposite ideas and bring in some fresh new ideas, put them together, and make the best out of the situation. And now look at him. Years later, he's one of the top candidates for head coaching jobs around the league, and many teams would want to sign him who have a vacancy at the head coaching position. For example, the Los Angeles Chargers and also the Atlanta Falcons. So you look at it, and he turned himself around. And now Mike Tomlin, years have went by without a playoff win. Years have went by without success in this league. And one of the main things you look at with the Pittsburgh Steelers, you always look at their offense, you look at their team, and you know what you're going to expect. You're going to expect the exact same thing week in and week out, season in and season out. So, basically, Rich Eisen is saying maybe it's new and it's time for a new person to come in and kind of challenge the perspective of the Steelers and kind of bring in that fresh new ideas that Jim from Michigan brought in. Bring in those new ideas to the Steelers so then it's not just as expected as it is every single other time the Steelers take the field. You don't expect the exact same thing every single time. These dump-off throws, these kind of nonchalant throws, nonchalant kind of offensive plays where you know what you're expecting. The defense could read it before the play is even ran. So maybe it's time to bring in that guy, give full keys to him, and have the guy run the offense to the way that he wants to run it and not have to rely on Mike Tomlin's opinion for an offense. You look at Mike Tomlin, he's never been an offensive guy. Yes, he played wide receiver before in his career, but he's never been an offensive guy at the next level in this league. He's always really been a defensive first mentality type of coach, and that's how he kind of calls his plays. Even when he takes risks in terms of going for on fourth down, going for it instead of kicking a field goal, he usually does it based off the opinion that he believes more in his defense. So he's just going to take the easier way out and make the defense go on the field, get a stop, and then get the ball back. But when you have that offensive guru on your team and someone you can rely on at the offense coordinator position and someone that you're giving full keys to, maybe those kind of decisions are taken at a higher risk. meaning that maybe you go for it on more fourth downs. Maybe you go for it instead of kicking the easy field goal and just try to go for 7 points instead of an easy 3 points. Just say you're on the 3-yard line instead of kicking the field goal. Maybe if you have a guy who could challenge you and bring in the new perspective as an offense, your team could be better as a whole. Basically, put your pride aside, and I know it's been hard for Mike Tomlin to get someone in the building that could challenge him because he's been in this league for so long, 17 plus seasons as a coach, and without a losing record, he has one of the best resumes in terms of coaches. So it's going to be hard to obviously get someone in the building that could challenge him and bring in that new idea that he could trust, but sometimes that's what it takes to revamp your career. Many Steelers fans wanted Mike Tomlin gone, but I really do think he could be a solid coach still moving forward if he just focuses strictly on the defense and has nothing to do with the offense. I think the offense should be ran by the offense coordinator and have no input by Mike Tomlin. Don't change the plays, let the offensive guy call the plays, and especially if you get someone in who actually knows what they're doing. It's a difference when you have Matt Canada calling plays who has no experience at all, got fired from every single job he has had in his career in the college level, and somehow he just got the job with the Steelers. And then you have Mike Sullivan and Eddie Faulkner. Eddie Faulkner never called plays in his life. Mike Sullivan, at least he had some play calling duties with the Giants and stuff like that, so I understand him. But moving forward, you need that guy who is an offense guru. He knows what he is doing, and you could trust him. And someone who's from the Mike Shanahan and also Sean McVay kind of coaching tree and their kind of offensive minds. And that's what the Steelers should be looking for. Don't get these coaches like the Arthur Smiths of the world, who is more of a defensive guy. I don't know why they would interview him for an offense coordinator position, but they did. But hopefully Omar Khan and Andy Weidl and Art Rooney, they kind of step in and bring an aggressive approach to this offseason to really change some things. It needs to move over from the status quo that we know of the Pittsburgh Steelers in year past and move towards how the NFL is moving towards an aggressiver play style and someone who actually knows what they're doing on the offensive side of the ball. We have so many weapons and they're just not being utilized. It's kind of whenever the Steelers get a player, it seems like just a wasted talent from the last few years. Whenever we get a high caliber player, for example, Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson, I know some of you don't like him because he drops passes and stuff like that. It seems like there's always a mistake waiting to happen, but that's kind of the narrative posted and kind of painted towards him because he's won the bottom half of the league and he's within the top 10 of least drop passes per kind of target and reception in the league alongside George Pickens. So that kind of narrative painted towards him just isn't true anymore outside that one season with him. So many of you I know have things to say about him and maybe want him traded because of his contract, but he was supposed to be a big time receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers and someone who can make plays down the field. But it seems like his talent has been wasted in Pittsburgh because he's someone who could run after the catch, but that just has not been utilized with the Steelers. He's been someone who could catch the ball down the field, could create separation on his routes, but him running just slant routes, him running outside routes and stick routes doesn't really get to utilize this whole kind of tree of routes and kind of whole kind of personality as a wide receiver and what he does best. So it's kind of like a waste of talent there. It's also kind of a waste of talent in Pat Freiermuth as well. Since his rookie season, he just has not been able to get the targets, the receptions that he should be getting. And there have been some games this season where he would get 0 targets in a game or 0 receptions in a game or get 1 reception in the next game and barely even be utilized. He's heading into his final year on his contract, and now you don't even know what to do with him. Are you going to sign him back or are you not going to sign him back? Because you just have not been able to see what he could actually do on the football field in terms of playmaking out there. So that's kind of been a wasted talent as well as someone who looks so good in their rookie season. And then you have a guy like George Pickens. He's been able to make the most out of his situation, but having an offense coordinator come in and kind of get all these guys on the same page and utilize everyone could be a real key for the Steelers actually utilizing their playmakers. So bring someone in, have someone challenge you as a coach, kind of do the opposite of what you have done as a coach in this league, and give them the keys to the offense and kind of swallow your pride and move over and stick towards a defensive mentality in which you do best. That's my kind of outlook for what Mike Tomlin and the team should be looking for at the corner position, and this is what Rich Eisen has basically said, calling out Mike Tomlin in terms of this mentality. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. Let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about this topic? Do you believe that Rich Eisen is right and he should be doing what Jim Harbaugh did with Michigan? Or do you believe whatever been's working with the Steelers has been working and just get someone and have Mike Tomlin run the show once again? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well, so you can get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. I post every single day, so make sure you click the bell down below. And I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.